it's time for another video. Goat Games trade-in video, showing off all the old games that comes into the store. We get all sorts of old stuff, PS3, PS2. This time we got a lot of Genesis stuff, which is pretty cool. So let's get ahead and get into it. There's the Miss Pac-Man. Look at this, Bible Adventures. This has got to be the most generic cover for a game I've ever seen. I don't know why, but these Bible games are very infamous and thus very pricey usually. But here's a legendary game, Shining Force 2 for the Genesis. Amazing, amazing RPG. Might be the best RPG for the Genesis there. Really cool stuff. Sonic 2, classic game. I really like these Genesis games myself. Do you guys play Genesis or no? I don't know what you guys are into. People watch this play Super Nintendo, GameCube, PS3 is very popular with the guys. I know that. Genesis, though, Genesis is a good system. And it's still a good system to collect for. A lot of these games are still very affordable. There's Disney's Jungle Book. And it's just a classic system, man. That era of the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, good stuff. We got some box Genesis games here. That guy took quite a hit there. Looks like he just got completely knocked over like a bowling pin. Here's Sonic 2 in the original box. I played the hell out of Sonic 2. I can tell you that much. I was Tails, rest assured. I was the little brother. But it was fun. I enjoyed playing Sonic 2. Another classic game here, Double Dragon for the Nintendo. Look how built they are, dude. Look at those muscles. Those are the Double Dragons. We got random sports game for the N64. What else do we have here? Here's a cool one that came in. King of the Monsters 2. That super Power Ranger putting that dinosaur into a headlock. I'm surprised King of the Monsters 2 is only $20. It seemed like one of those games that I never really see come into the store that often for Super Nintendo. So I thought it would be worth more, but apparently not. I thought that might have been a rare one. Here's some SpongeBob games going on. I never really played the SpongeBob games or watched much SpongeBob, but I know a lot of people are into it. We got some loose DS games. Pokemon Diamond, very famous series right there. Everyone loves Pokemon. Pokemon is so popular, people who don't even play video games will play Pokemon. That's something people don't seem to grasp about how popular Pokemon is. And that's why the Pokemon games are expensive. Here's Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan for the original Game Boy. And Pokemon Black 2. Yikes. Now that is one big Pokemon game. Black 2, White 2. Those later DS Pokemon games were huge. I think people claim that they're the best Pokemon games. I only played a little bit of Platinum. We've got some Pirates of the Caribbean PSP games. Despicable Me, the video game. Of course. But yeah, that's all that. So we can tackle this giant tower of stuff. When we start with the PS2 games here. Got the Splinter Cell trilogy here. I think this is the whole trilogy, the original trilogy for the PlayStation 2. Splinter Cell, Pandora, Tomorrow, all that. This was like an instant hit for Ubisoft, man. When they put out this game, people went crazy, and for good reason. It was a really, really good series of games. Awesome stealth game. The original Devil May Cry. And here we go. Def Jam Fight for New York. We keep getting these in. I don't know how. They always seem to float back to us. I don't know if it's people buying it and then bringing it back or what. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Contra Shattered Soldier. That's an awesome game right here. Very, very good action run and gun game. The ultimate run and gun shooter is here. And they're not wrong. Very hard game, though. What else we got here? This is some good PS2 stuff. Champions of Norath. Legendary game. Very, very fun game. Goes very fast here at the store. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoons. Another great game. Sly Cooper games are pretty fun. Simple, fun. ATV Off-Road Fury, Brothers in Arms, Medal of Honor. If you like the Call of Duty games, check out Medal of Honor. X-Men Legends, one of my favorite games right there. And what else have we got? Star Wars Racer Revenge. I didn't know they made a sequel to the Star Wars racing game. Gran Turismo, Ghost Recon. PS2 is a good system. I always tell people to get in on the PS2. I mean, you get a PlayStation 2 and you have access to the full PS2 library and the PS1 library. And the games are still pretty affordable, to be honest. There are select games that are super expensive, but for the most part, you can spend 5, 10, maybe $20 and get a solid game. It's good stuff. Even for PlayStation 1. Greg, okay, and maybe not this. Look at his face. He looks very, very serious about paintball. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Good stuff. And Castlevania. The PS2 Castlevania. I think there's 2 of them. I've always wanted to play this game. I like the Castlevania games, but I wasn't sure how the 3D games were. I know there's one for the Nintendo 64 that I think is considerably more expensive, probably. But I would have to get an N64 first. I almost bought one. I was trying to decide between a PS2 or a Nintendo 64. And I went with the PS2. So I have a PS2 here where I do all my recording. And sometimes while I'm waiting for videos to finish buffering and all that, I'll play some PS2. What else we got here? Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection. This is a really good collection of Genesis games right here. I think this is the best collection. Because it even has Sonic 3 with the original music. I mean, come on. You can't beat that. For some reason, Sonic 3 on other systems or in other releases is always excluded or the music's changed. It's very odd. Gran Turismo 5. Blur. What else have we got here? Let's see. More Need for Speed. UFC. Modern Warfare 3. Oh, man. People are still crazy about Modern Warfare. People come in all the time and are like, oh, man, Black Ops 2. And I can't blame them. Black Ops 2 was a great game. Here's Devil's Cartel. Very fun co-op game. Or Army of Two, I should say. It's good stuff. What else is in here? I see Ace Combat, Assault Horizon. I like the Ace Combat games. And that looks like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, that is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is super popular too. Everybody loves Kingdom Hearts. Probably because of the Disney characters. This is a cool game. Legends of WrestleMania. I like these wrestling games where they kind of go way out of their way. They bring back the classic wrestlers from the 80s and 90s. Very entertaining. Super Street Fighter 4. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Here we go. Armored Core 4. They just announced the new Armored Core, so clearly you got to come in and get it. Get your Armored Core fix in so that you're ready for when the Dark Souls teams makes Armored Core 6. God of War 3, Resistance 3, Black Ops, and Gran Turismo 5. It's going to be weird when one of the most popular games ever is a mech video game. Because mechs weren't, I mean, aside from the old Battletech games, it's been a long time since mechs were really popular in video gaming. So I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Harvest Moon, Let It Hope. And we're moving on to Switch games. Switch is such a solid system, man. There's just so many great Switch games. It's actually kind of crazy. Metroid Dread, Luigi's Mansion 3. The Nintendo Switch might be one of the best systems of late. I don't know how they managed to do it, but there's just so many amazing first-party Switch games and Switch exclusive games. Tony Hawk Pro Skater moved on to one of my favorite systems here, the PlayStation 1. I'm a huge fan of the PS1. I love this era of gaming, this early 3D, but not the primitive 3D. Not like Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. But when 3D was starting to become mainstream in games, and yet it was still very experimental, I love this era. And here's a cool one. Intelligent Cube. Very interesting puzzle game where you are trying not to get crushed by blocks. It's a very weird and unique game. Kind of reminds me of Catherine for the PS3, if you ever played that. And the original Crash Bandicoot, man. How can you go wrong? Love it. And we got more. This is a big stack of PS1. I'm excited here. Gran Turismo 2. Street Fighter, the collection. There's a ton of Street Fighter collections and stuff like that put out for the PlayStation 1. Some random SpongeBob game. I don't know what this is. Hoppin' Clams. And Siphon Filter 2. I played the first Siphon Filter. A lot of fun. Absolutely hilarious game. You should definitely play it. That's for sure. Okay. What else have we got here? Battlefield. Moving on to PS4 games. Battlefield 2049. 2042. In the Steelbook case. Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS4. Doom Eternal for the PS4. PS4 is solid. PS4 is solid. I never really got into the PS4, though. I might have to own one these days. It's been a while since I've really owned a modern console. I guess I own a Switch, but I'm not sure if I would count that as much as I would a Microsoft and Sony console. The Switch is probably the best one. It's just, in terms of sheer next-gen console power, goodness, it's been a while for me. I had the PS3 and the 360. Then I kind of fell off the wagon there. I was like, I'm not so interested in the Xbox One or the PS4. And we're looking at 360 games here. Guitar Hero, very popular in the store. People were always asking about Guitar Hero. And they're always asking about the instruments. Look at this. Here's the crew. I like how the cars have levels. A level 30 sedan or something like that. Medal of Honor. More of a modern game. And here's Enchanted Arms for the 360. Which I have no idea what this is, to be honest with you. Anytime I see a role-playing Japanese game on the 360, it's very weird because for some reason during that era, Microsoft really pushed hard to try and get a lot of exclusive Japanese role-playing games onto the Xbox 360. That's why games like Tales of Vesperia were only on the 360 here in the States for like forever. It was only recently released worldwide. Microsoft spent a lot of money trying to get exclusivity for Japanese games, and it was pretty interesting given that Microsoft is an American company. Stuff like that. What else we got here? Dead Rising 2, I see. Dead Rising 2 is a lot of fun, man. Combining those weapons and just murdering the hell out of so many zombies. It's good stuff. Burnout Paradise, Midnight Club. Jimmy Johnson's Anything with an Engine. My God. That game's got to be terrible, but I kind of need to know. There's Fear for the Xbox. And the Turtle game, Tomb Raider game. We always get a bunch of Xbox 360 games in. The Xbox 360 was so massive that, we're still getting games for it even today. Earth Defense Force 2025. This is an awesome game right here, dude. Any EDF game is a ton of fun to play. Splinter Cell Conviction. Watch Dogs. Man. Dragon Ball. Look at this. Metal Gear Rising. That was a fun action game. Some random Star Trek game. I don't even know. And yeah, that's the video. Be sure to come to our store here in Merritt Island, Florida, or check out the rest of our YouTube page. Till next time.